And here we are, folks, at the very last Edith Finch. I'm gonna...
I can't imagine my mom ever writing poetry, and yet...
race on to the end, guys. It's been fun. And, well, I say fun, it's been heartbreaking.
A poem for Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea. Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard, before the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our
So
yard.
all I gotta do is play with the kite. I'm not expecting anything that isn't going to be completely heartbreaking by now. Strange stories though, strange ways. A lot of them died.
My father made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart.
So, this...
I tried to talk him out of it, but though he'd never met her, we don't need a stepmom, were the words that
because he's missing his own mum. That's understandable. I'm lucky that I had both parents. They all stayed together. I've only got my mum alive now. She's very old. I feel truly blessed. A lot of people don't have that. I can't imagine having to get used to a new parent. And I can't imagine having to try and be a parent or a friend to somebody else's children. How hard.
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined, and as a sign held up his middle finger.
Oh, Gus. Poor Gus. I do feel for you, mate. But...
the wind picked up, and panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent.
you know what, Gus? One day you're going to be a big boy, and you're going to want to leave home, and then your dad's going to be on his own. But right now, you're angry.
Rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made.
Oh, it's okay to be angry. You fly that kite. Ooh, that's not good. I'm surprised it still flies in the rain. I've never been a good kite flyer. Yeah.
The thunder sounded much too close and full of
Getting a
angry
storm.
power. But all my father said to this was, make the music
You need
louder.
to go indoors, Gussie Poo. You really do. But you're angry, so I bet the storm suits your mood. Whoa, the storm's getting worse, boy. Way worse. Oh, kid, come on. Get out of it.
I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone, just you, the wind, the sea and foam. But I didn't. Until we
Oh
found
my
you.
god. Picked up and dropped by the storm. Oh. I still can't quite get used to the sad endings.
She never talked about him, but Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
Oh, wow. Wow. I'm just taking a minute to take it in. Bear with me. Let's go and find the next story. Oh. I certainly had to take a break after the baby story. That was awful. Then again, that wasn't exactly great. Poor kid. Poor kid. This is a weird thing to have in the house.
My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died.
Must love climbing.
At the time, it was as far away as she could get.
Yeah, she would have felt awful. Truly awful. Maybe blamed herself when she shouldn't have done.
She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay.
Mm-hmm. That's quite cool. And?
Religion was another thing my mom never talked about, but I think it helped her a lot after her dad died.
Yeah, I guess so. Have we seen everything here now? Oh.
My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English. Lewis was born a year later.
Oh, I can't go down there. This is a bloody dangerous place to get around. I'm surprised I didn't just...
When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go. I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back.
They truly are an unlucky family. I don't know about curses. Maybe.
The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that. And for a while, things were good. Almost normal.
Almost. But...
But it didn't last.
Of course not.
The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle.
Oh, this house is so amazing. I don't think you could really build it though. No way. Right by the sea with all where the wind is at its worst. Jeez. Well, okay, the wind gets bad by the sea. You know that's true. Oh, let's brace ourselves for another sad story. Ah, oh, look at that. What's that made out of? Painted wood? Painted door. More crazy ways to move around this house. Milton. Milton is... He likes to draw, maybe?
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
That answers that question. Oh, clever. And he painted that large canvas of a door. Maybe so he could go to other worlds. And he did. Well done. Oh, I wish I could do that. That would be cool. But you'd have to be able to pick where you went, or it could be very sticky.
I was 4
That's
when
it, he
Milton
just disappeared. Did he really go through the door? Is that what they're suggesting? People do disappear around here. Like Barbara. Wow. Disappeared through his own magic door. I'd like to believe that was true. He's quite possibly killed himself trying to get up here. But then they would have found him, so...
Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors.
Of course the sea would take him away. It would. But let's tell ourselves that he went through his own magic door. I like that version. Much better. Oh, I'm wearing what I think is a wedding ring. My mom's wedding ring. The character's wedding ring. Oh.
Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
That is a crazy ass house you've built there though. Anywho. Just trying to see. So I'm a bit like, this is so sad. So interesting. I'm forgetting to talk. Good YouTuber. Okay, who's next? Who's next? What do we have here? This just looks like an office. Oh, they were homeschooled. Oh, did she take in pupils? Mind you, you wouldn't take in pupils up here. It's too bizarre, isn't it? Homeschooling then, I think. Oh, it's all so wonderful and so terrifyingly... Ugh. I just can't see where to go next. Up here. Up here, up here, up here. Up here.
Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Lewis blamed himself. After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery.
Uh-huh. Next family member. Who I suppose didn't survive. Didn't die well. dear. I think so.
Lewis's room smelled very, very
Yes.
familiar.
He liked.
That part of him
He
lived
liked to
on.
smoke the laughing bloody tobacco. He liked to smoke what it says on that wall.
Lewis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
Oh well. Probably because he was stoned all the time. Yep. This is very hippie. Very psychedelic. Ooh.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life.
Yep, people take drugs for a reason. It's not to make themselves
He
feel
kept
bad.
working at the cannery,
It's because it makes them feel good.
but he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to...
What? I'm just putting the fish in the guillotine. Whatever you want to call it. Cutting off the fish heads. This is a horrible job.
wander.
Oh. Ah, I can move this little guy up here as well.
I asked him to describe it. He said he started small, imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about.
So I'm moving him about his imagination.
Then something moved. Bats. And toads.
And I'm also doing the fish. You've got to have a good imagination to do jobs like this. Oh! Fish, stop coming. They're kind of in the way. Get out of the way. Go on. Be gone.
And things that have not names.
There be monsters.
He knew it was all in his head.
Daydreams are so much
But he took it very seriously.
more fun than reality. Especially this monotonous crap.
I had hoped he'd find himself.
Aha! We are in colour. Our imagination grows. And grows and grows.
But he found something more. I worried about him then. Daydreaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss. But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused.
No, he's on autopilot. He's there.
Like a whole new Lewis. So I let him go on.
He's there in his head.
I even encouraged him. It seemed very promising at first.
At first.
He told me he'd made a new friend.
What, that dog?
On the edge of a city he named Lewis Topia.
Oh! Yep. Kill a fish.
He built the city up slowly,
Make
brick
something
by
happen.
brick. Then he made musicians.
Why wouldn't you? And still his imagination grows and grows. As it fills up the screen.
And songs for them to play.
It's a happy place.
He talked about starting a band. And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger.
Oh,
He no longer spoke at
fish
the
head.
cannery,
What would you talk about?
but his chopping was as reliable as ever.
The smell, the fish,
Then one day it struck him
people's holidays, the kids.
that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, all in his imagination. So he could do whatever he wished.
He has a bit of a fish themed city.
He held an election for mayor.
And who won that? Of course you did.
They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering.
Time to set sail.
It became a game for him.
Let's conquer the world.
He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville.
Could try a bit hard with the names, Lewis, really. I'm not impressed. At all.
St. Louis.
Saint, really?
He started drifting away from our reality.
Yeah, this one seems more fun. I'm afraid I play way too many games.
Minneapolis. Until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Lewis kept sailing on.
Yeah, Mum. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Fine. Of course, Ma. You're right. You're so right. And just keep agreeing.
In Louisburg, he heard rumours of a
beautiful prince, I think.
Beautiful prince.
I wonder if Mum's still going on. Who cares when we can do this?
The prince was on his own quest for
rainbows.
Radiant rainbows.
The best there's ever been. Whoops, I forgot my stupid fish. Bye, fish.
He followed the sound of his...
Of his what? I go for harp. Nice and tinkly.
silver harp.
If I hit the notes, I'll play the music. How cool.
His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound.
Oh, the prince has a...
He knew the world was all in his imagination.
I thought he had a fish tail. I think it's just his robes. Fish-themed things. Oh, we can't see where we're putting our hands. That seems a bit worrying.
But he was so proud of having created it.
Slice a fish, open a door.
In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king.
A god? That's not good.
For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Lewis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace.
We can't see the real world hardly at all now.
My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him.
Oh, reality. Dreary, dreary reality.
He began to forget the world we know.
I don't blame him. Wish I could sometimes.
I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker.
We're walking in on ourselves. I think we are. Who wants to remember this? So grim.
He began to despise the man with a royal contempt.
He's no longer picking up the fish. Everything's stopped. Or is he having an out-of-body experience? I think he is. I think he is.
I still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder.
That does sound quite loopy, though.
The palace would be packed with his companions.
Dancing and music. We are on a conveyor belt. Okay. Yeah, get down, peoples.
Including the wise Calico who'd insisted on inviting him.
Huh. Your god is here. Let us dance and sing. Hi.
His prince waited.
I'm a little worried that you don't have faces. I think we have to work on the faces.
There was only one thing left to do. Bend down his head.
That looks like a guillotine. That's not right. And he looks creepy anyway. That looks like a guillotine. This isn't good. Something's up. Oh.
And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us.
He killed himself in the fish header. It's hard to say. It's so awful. That is so awful. He cut his head off in the fishy head of guillotine, whatever you want to call it.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
Oh, that is grisly. So grisly. Oh. Wow. What's next? In this neon room? Out we go. Are all our stories done, I think?
On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie.
She'd had enough.
I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder.
She'd had enough of the cursed house, where people can just disappear.
I wish we'd stayed. But I understand why we left.
She thought it would break the curse. She didn't want you to die too.
My mom ended up leaving everything behind. What happened that night had been coming for a long time.
A fresh start.
Maybe it should have come sooner. But it had to end one way or another.
More climbing.
All that's left now is to tell you about that last night.
Oh, is this our old room? Everything's very clean, isn't it? I've said that before.
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
Okay.
the power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance, or that Edie had a key to it.
One last go around this weird little house. Can't imagine what the electricity bill was like. It couldn't have been great.
The thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house.
Well, I can see why she would blame it. Besides, too many sad memories. I can't get up there. Bugger, where to? Where's this present? I want my present.
Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning, okay?
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out.
Well, at least we know there's a happy ending because they're all still alive.
It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life.
This makes me think of bloody Mordor. So, new house.
But I never thought I'd go back to it.
Mordor. Or rather,
When the fog rolled in, I lost my
rather
way.
knackered old house. It fell into the sea. Oh bugger, I really can't see where the fuck I'm going. Should I just keep going forward?
I got turned around.
Or am I supposed to turn around? What? Ooh, actually I'm lost. I found some rocks. Follow the rocks. I can't see the light. I don't like it. I don't like it.
For a while, I wandered.
Lonely as a cloud, which is the only line I know.
I started seeing things.
Ooh, oh, that poor dear. That was bad all round.
Things I'd forgotten had ever existed.
Uh-huh.
But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them.
Ah, there it is. Are we going to be allowed in? To maybe walk around?
Things I can't
No,
explain,
it's just...
but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing
It was
here?
wrecked.
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it. Let go.
I guess you must have just stood
I kicked
looking at
and
it.
screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car. I never saw Great Grandma Edie
Oh.
again.
No.
The next morning, the van came to pick her up, but she was already gone. After that, we moved around a lot.
What am I doing here? Wiggling my hand.
We both tried to make the best of it.
Wiggling my hand, floaty like.
A few years went by.
I want to be able to blow on it. Is what she said.
My mom didn't like to talk about it. But she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly.
Oh. Well, you can't blame that on the house. Dawn.
She got better for a while, and then she didn't. And then I was alone. The last Finch left alive. until I found out about
Pregnant.
you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this.
Move back in, it'll be fine.
If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is.
Yeah, I can't argue with that at all.
This journal was supposed to be for you. But now I hope you'll never see it. I just want to meet you.
I hope she finds
And
it.
tell you all these stories
Oh,
myself.
that's even better. But
But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way.
oh,
This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
oh, how sad. And that's the end of a particularly wonderful set of stories. I thanks you for watching, and I hope I'll see you again in another video. But this series is finished. Goodbye.